Alright, herzlich willkommen hier wieder auf dem DBV-Kanal. Wir machen wieder ein kleines Interview und diesmal aus besonderem Anlass, weil wir haben einen Bundestrainer, Mads Conrad-Petersen, der uns leider bald verlässt beim DBV. Und wir wollen uns natürlich die Chance nicht nehmen lassen, da nochmal mit ihm ein bisschen länger zu sprechen, wenn wir so einen Top-ehemaligen Athleten hier als Coach haben. Da müssen wir da natürlich ein bisschen drüber reden. Deswegen machen wir das Ganze jetzt in Englisch, aber ich hoffe, ihr bleibt trotzdem dran. Mads, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's time to say goodbye, basically.
Yeah, in a few weeks.
Sad thing.
Yeah.
How come?
Yeah, mainly I would say personal reasons. I have 3 kids back home. The journey back and forth is tricky. The logistics is tricky about it. I really have enjoyed every part of this, being down here. Also trying to make an impact down here. But the right next step is to also get a full-time trainer instead of me that can only be here in certain times. So I'm happy about the steps, but of course I'm not happy about not being able to stay, but it is the right next step.
Yes, you've started here working in Saarbrücken with Mark and Marvin mainly in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
When did it start actually for everybody who's not?
Yeah, it started before they went to Kiev.
Oh.
At the Europeans, I think it was 21. Yeah.
Yeah, that's been a
so
while.
I have been around, I would say, here for more than 4 years. So that's
Crazy.
also why it means more for me than just 1 year. And I also tried to not just be there for Mark and Marvin in the period before, but also to create something positive for the environment back then also. So yeah, it's been 4.5 years, and a big part of my after career work has been here. So yeah, it's sad in some way, but I also look forward to being more with the family in the daily life, which is necessary at least for the coming years.
Yes. When you arrived here, what was your, before working with the guys, you've not been to Saarbrücken or to the German federation's training centers. So what was your first impression, also compared to home, to what you know from Denmark? How would you compare the systems? Yeah. So many questions.
Yeah, that's a big question, yeah. First of all, I saw athletes that were super dedicated. They wanted to improve, they wanted to get better. They were really ready to listen to what I also had to say. Not just Mark, Marvin, Isabel, but also the group itself. The dynamics were also the standards were maybe not as high as I was used to, this paying attention to every shot, I would call it. There were not as many rackets thrown around or that I was used to in Denmark. So I also wanted to at least create an environment with a little more intensity on court, but off court also a fun environment and where it's enjoyable to be a part of. And this was in the beginning, I would say, missing a little bit. But dedicated players, good people, but also people that haven't experienced too many top 5, top 10 players around. So they were also, of course, curious about what's necessary to reach that level. So for me, it gave me a lot of purpose in life to meet this, and it showed me a direction of this is the road I want to pursue also.
Have you done a lot of coaching before in Denmark, or was it mainly from your own active career? What did you do right after?
Right after, I was actually 1 year in the real estate business.
Okay.
So I went direct. I stopped doing Corona. My partner stopped, and I was kind of in this dilemma of, do we want to start all over with a new partner, or should we say, okay, that was it?
Yeah. But wait, if you stopped during COVID, that was 2020.
That was 2020, yeah.
Okay.
So that was why, when I stopped there, then I went directly into selling houses or renting. Yeah, completely different. But I also wanted to get away from badminton for a while. I was a little sick of it after many years where it was just everything for me, right? Yeah. But after also a certain period, you also found out why I loved it also, right? So sometimes it's about getting a little pause or resetting everything a little bit to find out what really matters. And to be honest, I find myself in a like closer to my comfort zone in a role like this than when I was a player.
Yeah.
So for me, it gave me just a chance to do something else where I really found out, hey, I need to do this. So the first time down here was kind of an eye-opening feeling for me that, hey, I have so much knowledge that I want to give to other people.
Yes. And okay, then obvious next question would then be, what is your next step now when you go back to Denmark? What do you have in mind?
Yeah,
back to selling houses?
No, no. I'll stay in the business now
okay.
of badminton. No, I'll be the coach, the head coach in my club in Hillerød, where I also live, so I can jump on my bike, go there 1.5 kilometers. So this, where everything is more near to me. Want to create one of the best clubs in Denmark there, which also requires that I dedicate my time for that also. So I'm still in the industry, but the traveling part is then out, and then I will also start an academy in the club for morning practice and so on. So we will have 3 morning sessions a week, trying to get dedicated players from Denmark in the clubs nearby to choose us. And I have a good team around that also waits for this. But right now, of course, I'm dedicated to this until 1st of September, and then I jump directly into the new role.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because in Germany we do not really have too many clubs that have full-time coaches.
Yeah, okay.
And also academies and stuff like that. We have some, but not too much going on. How big is that in Denmark, and how many do you have?
Clubs, we have a very good club system. Like I would say, it is maybe also the X factor of why we are a good badminton nation. Have good coaches around, so there's tough competition. It's not like me just returning and then every player comes to my club. There is very good clubs around Copenhagen, and we have 10 or 15 purely badminton halls in that area also. So like, it is different, and that is also maybe the biggest difference from Germany to Denmark. Like the surroundings, and also we can see badminton in the TV. I'm happy for the work you're doing here with like promoting it more, because we have good athletes here, but we're not getting the attention that we actually deserve in some way. So that is also different from being able to see badminton every day in the television, or here where you have to go on YouTube or something to.
If you're lucky to find it, and it's not geo-blocked.
Yeah, exactly, right. So, but yeah, to answer your question, it's tough competition. We have a lot of good clubs, but that also requires me to be dedicated in what I do. So this I look forward to, but then also having the option of also bringing people from abroad or from Germany or from other places, that they can actually come to my club, have a week there, and I could give my knowledge to them. So this is also what I want to use time on. Yeah.
And when we just sat down here, we just said, okay, I'm not really prepared for this interview. You're neither. So I'm just throwing questions that are interesting for myself. So question that comes to my head is like, when you leave this surrounding now, this setup, with what feeling do you leave, and what do you think was your biggest impact that you had here? Maybe also something that you would have loved to, but didn't really.
Yeah, like the last part, I would have loved to be here more, to make a bigger impact, because that is also, I believe, required in an environment like this. I had the feeling sometimes that we really did something great, but then I was away for a few weeks, and then we had to kind of restart the process a little bit.
Consistency, kind of.
So the consistency is also what I look forward in the new job, that I'm there in the daily life. Then I'm very happy and proud that me, Hannes, and the team around, after we had coaches stopping after Olympics, and we were in a difficult situation, that I feel now we have more players in partnerships they believe in. We have created, I would say, at least the starting steps of a more free environment here, but also where we are dedicated to what we do. And result-wise, of course, like Mark and Marvin winning Europeans, Mark and Isabel winning bronze medal at Worlds and stuff were the highlights of this. But I'm happy that I leave the place in a better state than when I started. So that is the bottom line. That 1 year ago, where we were only me and Hannes sitting in here, what should we do here, right? Now Andy is here. We're getting a new coach also coming in full time here. Mülheim players doing a good job. The young ones are coming up, starting to put some pressure on the players here. All these things are in a much better state now than when I came, and that is the key thing for me to leave with.
And now you're leaving, but obviously things here will go on, and everybody will put in the work. What do you think is required for them, or for this whole system to be? Because you say it's more ready to be successful, but what does really have to be done to also make use of that?
Yeah, in general, that we produce more quality sessions, that we get. Right now we also have a lot of players on rehab programs and are on their way back. Of course, that we get more people ready, that we get a better environment here with more players ready. And this thing I mentioned sometimes about paying attention to every shuttle, that it means something when we come here. I think we've come from here to here, but to reach the highest level we need to go here. So it has to mean even more for the players to perform well when we're here. But that they are also free in the environment here, that they're not afraid of us coaches, that we have a good environment, but where we are also honest and we can tell when it's not good enough. And this is what I believe is a key factor to reach the highest level, is that it's not just enjoyable everything. There's tough conversations, there's moments where it's not comfortable, and here I hope they are ready for also going through that.
Yeah, if you talk about those moments being uncomfortable, but also trying to create an environment where people enjoy going to and enjoy working at, sounds like a tough task.
Yeah.
So maybe next question would be, what makes a good coach in an environment like that, where you want to have the highest possible performance, but still not destroying people?
Yeah.
By only making them work.
Yeah, and like it's of course the coach I want to be. I'm not sure I am it yet, but I want to create that environment where they have the respect for me, but they're not afraid of me. They want to perform, but they can still see positives after a defeat, for example. But I also want to be honest to them that it is not an easy environment. To go to highest level, it is competition, it is winning, losing, where you feel like when you win, the world is at your feet, right? And when you lose, you're devastated. And I want to help them in finding a better middle way, of that we need to be able to see positives when we're not performing. We can always find positive things in a match. So positive mindset, but also when we're doing well, we can't just relax and sit back. Then we do more. Can we improve? Can we still find areas where we have to do better? So these things, finding a more stable way. Yeah, I often say also, like here, it's okay that everything is not comfortable, but when we go out of the door and when we see each other next day, then we go again. So then we have to be able to reset in that period. And then I'm okay with them sometimes going home being sad, being mad, being angry at me. But next day we go again and we can look each other in the eye and reset. Yeah. Can you find that? Then we also have a very good environment. But it requires a personal development for each player, for all nations. Like this is the tricky part, but it's practice. It's practice to go through it, and there's no easy way.
And also so much intrinsic motivation to come again every day, and not, as you say, because you say like this focus on fighting for every shuttle and every minute that you spend here to make the most out of it is actually tough. Yeah. Because I can imagine, like, I mean, I'm just amateur player, but when I go to training, there are some sessions where I just feel like, I'm just playing, you know, not really thinking about it. Okay, I'm an amateur player. That's maybe okay to just get my head off. Yeah. But for me, it feels like it is super hard to always be 100% locked in. If you do this every day, 2 times a day, 5 days a week.
And it is.
How did you do it?
Yeah, practice also, and then being in an environment where you got your ass kicked when you didn't perform, and where there were no one to really help you but yourself also. So that's also what I mean. It's not easy, but it requires you to be independent. I think also a big thing here for the players down here is also that it's not always, if we lose, we can't look at the coach and say he should have done better. When you win, it's also you that win. We just help us, we just guide us out there. But we need to be able to be independent players. When you practice on a Sunday or something, doing these extra things that we also spoke a bit about, Tommy, that no one forced me to practice on a Saturday or a Sunday, but I wanted it. So it has to come from the inside. Then we can try to help to create the environment that you want to do it, but at the end of the day, it's the player itself that has to determine it. And here I'm really not the type, and also the coaching team now, we are not the type that want to force it down their throat, but we want to see who does these extra things, because that is also the player that reaches the highest level. But that's also why we talk a lot about group dynamic. We want a good group. We don't want just one player, because that one player will not reach his goals if the group is not good enough. So we want the group to go, and that starts from each individual, that what we show, what body language we show up at practice. If you have one of your Tommy days where you say, I'm just there, then maybe you need a little kick in your ass.
Don't call them Tommy days. That's not what it should be named.
No, but then you need a little kick in the ass, and other days you're really present and stuff. But if we have 5 players out of 10 that comes in with, I just want to spend my time, then the group dynamic goes out, and then we're not developing. So that is the task here, that we always have a majority of the group that really shows the way. Yeah. Then it's easy for the rest to follow. But if you have the majority of the group that are just spending time here, then that will be the leading star. How do you say? So it is tough, but I think we have taken good steps here.
It also seems, for me, from an outside perspective, super hard to kind of satisfy everyone in the group, because obviously you will have focus on, like, also not focus on the best players, but kind of an extra attention just from how our sports system is made, because they have to bring you the medals home, kind of. So they probably also get a little more focus in the training. I don't know, just assuming. And as a young player, it might be tough to find your spot and your position and contribute to a group all the time. And I think many people are maybe also not aware of how important it is to contribute, even if you're not the main guy in the team.
Yeah, that's why also our best players has a big responsibility to be these guidelines, or to be the ones that the younger ones can look up to and say, okay, this is how he does it, I want to do some of the same. They have a big responsibility. Yeah, I think it comes natural. It comes also from us as the coaches to, when we have some of those days where it's difficult, then we have to bring in the energy, and we have to go into also the tough conversations sometimes, and this is not good enough. And for me, a good coach is the one that can both go into that and also tell them when they've done brilliantly, but they need to also feel that we have expectations that are higher. So to be able to have that, being the killer, but also be the biggest fan, I think it's important. Yeah.
Is that something, because I mean, obviously, we are bringing many Danish guys in here for a reason, because you are a really successful nation and produce so many top athletes and coaches, obviously. Do you think like this mentality is more present in training setups in Denmark, or is there different things that make differences?
I think we are, I would say, a little tougher. We're also tougher to each other. In Denmark, we are like, there's more talk over the net. If I'm doing an exercise, the other side is not, at least at the federation. If they were not performing, I would be a little noisy to them to say, hey, we need to do better. And here we are a little more expecting the coach that this is his job to do it. It is also, but I would like the player to have to take initiative also here. And I'm happy when I see a discussion also sometimes, or when we see, hey, can you push me a little harder there or a little softer there? That means development for me. So I think, and that is difficult to create that environment, because the initial thought, if I say, hey Tommy, you have to do better.
Is you criticizing me, and I'm like, oh, come on, I tried.
Exactly. So the first thought is, hey, hey, I'm trying my best here. But we need to go the step further of, why is he saying this? It's because we want even more out of the practice. And then you need to see through your personal offense and say, okay, now I need to fucking show him, right?
Yeah.
When we can get into that, and we also, on top of that, have the agreement of, next day we come, we have reset it, we're ready to go again. Then we're in a good position. And here we are not yet in this group, but we have had a lot of talks, and we are on the process, I would say, to go there.
Yeah. I mean, looking back, you've named some of the big results that we had recently with the 2 European gold medals, the World Championships medal. And in Germany, we are quite good at talking things down if they're not working good. So we're now in a period where we are not as blessed with that much success. And also, I don't know, if we look at the last European Championships, we didn't get any medals. I don't know, Olympic Games, we didn't get anything. We never got anything at the Olympic Games, but you know what I mean. Do you think this is kind of, and that obviously mainly comes from the outside, do you have a similar culture in Denmark if the success is not there? Or, and that's the actual question, what do you think about that, and how do the players here respond to that?
Yeah, well, in general, we can't, like, past is the past, right? We have to see what material we have, and then we have the job to think long term, and not just next Europeans or next Worlds, but long term. And here I'm actually quite satisfied with what's coming up from down. From Mülheim, the young ones are doing well. So I'm not concerned long term. But of course, right now, we also knew, when I started in this position, this next year will not be the year where you will be texting me all the time for, now we won that and now we won that. It is a rebuilding process. But I'm not concerned about that. I think the pressure in Denmark is higher in a position when 1 or 2 categories are down or not winning a lot of matches. There's media attention to it. The coach could be sacked because of it and stuff, where here the pressure is less. But for us here, of course, we want to win. We want to get back to that. But we also just have to face the reality of where we are, and with players out and with the circumstances around all of this, then I think we are now, as I also started, we are in a position where the next year will be better than the previous year. And this is important, and we need to, in the coaching team, continue the long-term thinking instead of just next tournament. And that starts with, are we in partnerships we want to be in? How do we communicate there? What is the long-term goal instead of next tournament?
And obviously, as you said, with the huge injury of Mark that takes down our 2 best pairs, and then Isabel getting pregnant, and all of that just is a huge hole into the top level that we had. But obviously, those 3 kind of covered a little bit with Linda together. They covered a little bit for the little gap that we had behind that.
So that's also why this group right now is important, and also to answer one of your previous questions about right now, there's not a big difference in attention here, because we need the group to develop. But when we had Mark Isabel winning a world's medals, of course they needed and should have more attention than some of the others. But I am the person, and we also in the coaching team are all completely agreeing on that we need to get the group to a higher level, and not just one individual. And I would not have reached my results without Mathias and Carsten or Kim and Anders in Denmark, and Mathias and Carsten would not have reached all their results without us pushing them, right? So I'm a strong believer in that we need to, especially in the doubles department, we need to grow as a team. If we do that, then we get the pressure, and it's also why I'm happy with the young ones coming up, producing good results. Then our doubles here, feels a little bit of pressure, and then they need to do the extra, and then we're on the right track.
Yeah.
Here I'm interested in how the next year will be, because I'm actually quite positive in that better results are on the way.
I think we're all interested in what's going to happen. One thing that's going to happen with you leaving, obviously, is a new coach coming in. And if I understood that correctly, it's also someone that you kind of helped find. Can you tell us something about him?
Yeah, Christopher Knudsen. Knuddy, he's called. Knuddy. Mainly, he almost doesn't react to other things than Knuddy. Okay. But he, in terms of also how he is as a person and stuff, I think is quite similar to me. So it's not a crazy change, but the crazy change is that he is then here full time. He'll move with his family here. He has a child and his wife.
Huge commitment, yeah.
So also this commitment is what we need at this stage. And I'm very happy that he's coming. He's bringing in also experience, more coaching experience than I had. He's been a coach the last 10 years and in one of the best clubs in Denmark, which I would say has the highest pressure of what you can have if you're not the national coach. So he's not a rookie in that sort of way. And then he's dedicated. He's looking forward to it. He texted me in the beginning wanting more info about the job and stuff. And then the rest has of course been with Hannes and the team around. But I'm happy to have helped in that process. And I think it'll be a good fit for DBV. And I'm happy for the commitment he also shows. Perfect.
Sounds really interesting. Interesting things to happen, obviously. We will follow. And I hope that we can also follow your path and your journey a little bit along the way. And wish you all the best. And thanks for your time here in Germany. I think it was a nice trip for everyone.
Thanks.
And thanks for your time.
Always welcome. Yeah?